Welcome to Cooking with Be Well. And we're here today with our, very famous chef, Millie. And today she will be showing you a really good dish to be prepared in a crock pot. She's getting ready to do so. She just washed her hands. So Millie, take it away.
So Rita, I'm going to show you one of my favorite dishes using one of my favorite kitchen appliances, the slow cooker. This recipe I call unstuffed cabbage. It is basically the same thing as stuffed cabbage, where you take the filling and you roll it into the cabbage leaves. Instead, I'm just laying everything into the crock pot, and I'm going to walk away and go to work. First of all, the traditional stuffed cabbage is made with ground beef and white rice. And the Be Well way to make this is to use ground pork and to use a grain called bulgur, which you can find in your rice aisle, usually right near all the brown rices. And it cooks very similar to rice with a similar 2-to-1 ratio.
And it has a lot more fiber,
It has
right?
a lot more fiber in it, and it has more protein than the white rice does. The pork that I've chosen is a pork loin, nice and lean.
Mm-hmm.
I personally like to grind my own meat because I can see how much fat I'm putting into my ground meat. And again, I picked a pork loin and trimmed off any of the excess fat and then just put it through my meat grinder. So the rest of the ingredients that are going to go into this, obviously we have a head of cabbage that I've just rough chopped, which means to just big chunks of it. We have canned tomatoes. The tomatoes that I've chosen are no salt added diced tomatoes in juice. So there's no added sugar, no added salt to them. The other ingredients include some crushed red pepper to give it a little bit of heat, some garlic powder, I don't cook without garlic, black pepper, and then to give it a little bit of tang, some rice vinegar. Now the rice vinegar, again, is a sodium-free, sugar-free version of it. I don't like to add any of that extra stuff in there.
Not necessary, right?
No, I don't think so. Now, let's talk a little food safety with the slow cooker. If you're going to be putting hot food into your slow cooker, which this is, you need to have your crock pot warm. So I've already turned it on and it's warming up. I've also already browned our ground pork with 1 chopped onion. So, you ready to put this all together?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Let's just slide this a little bit. And I'm going to actually have you go ahead and assemble this. Okay, so you can see just how easy this is. So we're going to layer all the pork in there first. Now, on top of that, you want to pour the bulgur.
Oh. Okay.
Now take the large container of tomatoes there. There's 4 cans of tomatoes. These are 14.5-ounce cans of tomatoes. You can get 2 of the larger cans or 4 of the smaller ones.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to add all of the spices now. Don't add that one yet.
Don't.
Not yet.
Okay. And I'm assuming the spices are all measured.
Yes, this is a tablespoon of garlic powder,
Okay.
a teaspoon of crushed red pepper,
Okay.
because I like it spicy.
Yeah, I do too.
If you don't want the heat, you can leave it out.
Okay.
A teaspoon of black pepper,
Mm-hmm.
and we want 1 tablespoon of the rice vinegar. Perfect.
Okay.
Now, we're going to have you just pile that cabbage right on top of there.
Okay. So since I washed my hands just before we started, I'm going to help the process with my hair.
I'll hold.
Thank you. Just to make sure it doesn't go all over.
Now, even though it's overflowing now, it will cook down.
Yes. Okay.
And the remaining tomatoes.
Oops.
set on low, we're done. Time to go to work.
All right, but I'm coming over for dinner tonight.
All right.
Okay.
So here we are, 8 hours later. This has been cooking all day. You ready for this, Rita?
Ooh, smells so good. It looks great too.
You can see that the cabbage is all cooked down and all that bulgur fluffed up. So we have some nice consistency in that. And I like to serve this with a little bit of fresh parsley on top, just to give it another dimension of flavor.
That looks so yummy. Really looks great.
Be well.
Be well.
Oh, sorry, did you want?